All right, hello everybody, and welcome into the SFA Season 14 Week 9 Watch Party. We are on Patreon here, and we got a good one in the Mountain West. We've got Wyoming, really surprising this year, taking on the winless UTEP. I can't believe this game got voted, but it's going to be really fun to check out the Wyoming Cowboys and what Coach Wind is brewing. As always, if you do want more bonus content in the SFA, check out Patreon as you get a bonus watch party like this live, as well as a podcast every single week from yours truly. So, patreon.com/the SFA. Now, before we get into the game, as always, we want to shout out our friends over at Home Field Apparel. The one-stop shop for all of your college apparel needs. They have over 180 collections, and they don't do just football. They focus on those vintage designs. They do basketball, baseball, wrestling even. So anything your team or your school is known for, they've got it. And tomorrow releasing, I've already seen the preview. They always send me pictures of stuff early. They are dipping into the racing game, so they got some NASCAR stuff, Hendrick Motorsports stuff dropping. So if you're interested in that, it is dropping tomorrow. Use code SFA, 15% off, works once per email, or you can use our specialized link as well to support us. All right, let's get into it here. We're going to go through Wyoming. And now this is Coach Wind, a coach who everybody was thinking was going to get fired. He had that entire Andre Warfield era that just didn't work out. But Jamie Breckenridge, his second season, he is looking quite good. They do have Chris Neal redshirted. He was a 5-star from Colorado that he got, and I think that really is what saved his job. He wasn't doing well, but on the trail, anytime a lower tier school gets a 5-star player, they're likely going to keep their job. And then you also got the senior Perry Potts, the SFA player. We'll see what he can do. He's had a fantastic year. At wide receiver, this is where they struggle. Carlos Freeman at 70 overall. You got Derek Payne, Ryan McGee, and Sterling Scruggs. So definitely not the best wide receivers here, but a little bit of speed. We will see if they can do anything. At tight end, you got Rocky Mosley. We have seen him before. He's up to a 73. The offensive line is really nothing to write home about here. So we are going to get a wacky game day today. As on defense, you got Ken Harrell on one side, Scott Douglas on the other, and the SFA player Pud Foxtail there in the middle. Hopefully he can dominate the trenches today. Tim Robbins as well. At linebacker, Kyle Johnson. You got Ryan Bates and Marcus Kidd. Out wide, the freshman Burdett Jones. What are some of these names? Jeff Williams, Mike Strong. Not too bad of a corner class here. And then Bill Green in the back, as well as Jake Falk. So a really, really poor team here. And they've got a freshman kicker, Jason McKnight. He is 4 of 6 on the year, 70 power, 55 accuracy. Man, this is going to be disgusting. I don't know how this team is 5-1. But they are going against UTEP, a team who is winless, and it will not be Willie Hayford today. He is hurt, so we are going to see Andrew Alexander, the redshirt senior, as Tamir Lovelace, the former SFA quarterback, transfer from Texas Tech. He has gone way, way down, so it's going to be Andrew Alexander, and then at running back, James McAfee, Shannon Robinson, and then out wide, Ernest Parrish. He was in the transfer portal a couple of years ago. He's the number 1 receiver. Justin Horn, Patrick McNeil, and Aaron Richards. So definitely a better offense if I have to choose. Kyle Johnson, and then on the line, doesn't look too good here up front. But I will say, outside of quarterback and running back, UTEP does have the better offense. And then on the defensive side, Mark Mead, you got Michael Lewis, and in the middle, you got Craig Harris and Herman Johnson. At linebacker, it's Jeremy Daniels, Courtney Rivero, Brian Carroll, and at corner, Jeff Woods, Brian Taylor, and Marcus Holloway. Some very bad players here. And Adam Gutierrez. And Drew Clay is hurt, so Matthew Gray. And their kicker is a sophomore, Travis Davis. He's 61 power, 70 accuracy, and he is 4 of 11 on the year. So a true sickos matchup. I don't have to cover the screen or anything, as I've yet to do the sims for the games. I'll do that later tonight. But for now, we have got a banger here in the Mountain West. So I don't think Wind is here, so he can't choose his jersey. I know that they don't have necessarily the best jerseys combos anyways, but let's just check out what there is. I think we need a sicko. Ooh, all right, hold on. Can we go all yellow? There you go. All right, we're going to go all yellow for Wyoming. And then, okay, the blue. Ooh. The neon orange is kind of delicious. Oh, dude, they don't have hold on, do they have the throwback? Texas Western. I've never heard them referred to as Texas Western, but I guess we'll do the throwbacks here. And then because it's yellow, do we just go bright-eyed and just go for it? Or do we want to do all brown?
I'll leave that up to you.
I think we're going to go for it. All right. So 70 on 65 as I introduce Cryo here. And are you excited to watch this shit show?
Listen, my friend, when the best conference is playing in the SFA, I am all ears, all eyes are on this matchup.
All right, here we go. It is the Mountain West. Now, remember, Wyoming right now is the favorite to face UNLV in the Mountain West Championship. So you're definitely scouting a little bit, aren't you, here today?
Definitely scouting a little bit, but I think it's overall, I think just the player to watch and the player that's been the best for them is Perry Potts. I don't think we have to look too much into it. He's single-handedly been carrying this division, and he has done nothing but easily rushed for a lot. Jamie Breckenridge has really broken through as, you know, one of the top quarterbacks in the Mountain West in general, but it's very interesting to see how that 1-2 combo, even with, let's be honest, the rest of the team not as good, it's good to see that they're, you know, at least stepping up in this conference. Because, I mean, it's unfortunate people like Utah State we see right here, they lost their starting quarterback. That was a team that many thought were going to try and rebound, as well as Colorado State maybe. But, you know, Wyoming's took advantage of, you know, subpar competition.
All right, so we're at the coin toss here. We are in El Paso, the home of the Sicko Sun Bowl, as a matter of fact. As we are off, Wyoming is going to start first. These jersey combos aren't as bad as I thought it was going to be, as we got some beautiful yellow. Oh, and he runs over a man down the sideline to start the game. And here comes Perry Potts, number 21, Jamie Breckenridge at quarterback. And we are going to see if they can get bowl eligible today. So they come out empty. Jamie Breckenridge in the backfield. Number 17 delivers, and it's almost picked off on the first play of the game. Marcus Holloway drops it. Not a good start at all.
Yeah, that was just bad read. That flat was just immediately covered, so hopefully they rebound.
All right, so Jamie Breckenridge now dumps it off. There's Perry Potts. He falls forward for 9. As he's up over almost to 600 yards on the year. Definitely not a ton, considering guys like Darren Archer are already at like 1,200 yards, but definitely the go-to guy on this offense. As we're already approaching the 50 now. We're in shotgun split, or not split, but Perry Potts in the backfield. They are blitzing as he just throws it away, so potentially a 3-and-out to start us out here.
Yeah, pressure just got towards him, and I feel like there's just an unfair... Ooh, okay.
They're going for it here on the opening drive. Coach Wynn getting aggressive. So 4th and 1. Not even a minute into this game. And they're going to throw it again. So 4 straight throws to start the game, and a wide open man on the out route as they are back in business. At Jamie Brown. He gets 24.
Yeah. Good thing about Jamie Brown is he was injured for a majority part of the season. So good to see him coming back. That 1-2 combo in the running backfield has really been that key contributor to this offense. Obviously, you had the comparison to Darren Archer. I don't think that's fair. I think they're doing enough to win, and that's all that matters, especially in the division that they're in.
So back in business here. Still yet to see a handoff to Perry as they dump this one off. He does find his man. Derek Payne, only 5 yards. Now, Jamie Breckenridge, he is an SFA player. He was a low-star quarterback, but he has grown quite a bit from his freshman season. Anytime you're battling a 5-star in practice every day, you definitely elevate your game. As he takes off here, he's not known for the speed, but look at him go inside the 5. That's 18 yards.
I mean, found the open hole. Great blocking from Wyoming, giving them that room. And I think you brought up a good point. Jamie Breckenridge has really improved a lot from his first season. And I think it's because of that 5-star coming in. He wanted to prove that he is a leader. And I think he's done a good job with that, going into this season.
So 1st and goal, we're back to empty. Jamie, he has time. Offensive line doing their job. He does throw that one away. So 6 plays, 6 passes, still no runs to Perry Potts. We're now at the 3.5 mark. That right side looks very juicy. Just give him a handoff. And they will. He tries to push up the middle, and he gets down to about the 1-yard line. So 3rd and goal incoming. Another opportunity for UTEP. So, this looks like a bad call from the defense. They might want a timeout. That middle was free. Jamie, hey, Stevie's a man. Touchdown, Wyoming. Jamie Breckenridge keeps it himself. Stiffy's a minor, and they go up 7-0. The UTEP minors.
Yeah. That's what we mean by that. We're already off to a roaring start.
Oh! Did you see it?
Oh, you saved it. You saved it.
You didn't see anything? Okay.
No.
Okay.
It was literally right before the score could pop up. Look at TC on his toes.
Whew.
Unlike Vanilla Vic this past week.
Okay. Relax. Relax.
Yeah.
We do not need to relive what happened last week. We are in Week 9. We're looking ahead as now UTEP comes out, and if you're the UTEP defense, I guess you can be okay with that first drive. You showed you could get them into 3rd and 4th down, but you still got to make a play. So now we got a backup quarterback here for an 0-6 UTEP minor team who made a bowl game last season. So this is Coach Moroku definitely has a ton of problems as Andrew Alexander keeps it for 1. Now, the thing about UTEP is they are one of those people who has a transfer guy coming in next season. Remember, he tampered. He was one of the few successful tamperers. He's getting a new quarterback next year. So Moroku, hopefully he's around to see it as we get a handoff here. That's going to go to James McAfee. He gets about 9.
And the one interesting thing about UTEP is their running back room isn't great, but they have 3 people they're sort of running by committee that they've been trying to do. Obviously, it hasn't worked to their liking as much as they want to, but it's kind of what they've had to do. And I think going back to that was a miraculous bowl game. The fact that Hawaii and UTEP were in the bowl game last year, I think that was the last really good run for UTEP before, they have to reshift everything and go back into a rebuild. So it's going to be interesting to see what they do from this point.
So we got 2nd and 8 now. Alexander steps up. He yams it deep, and it's picked off. Wyoming takes over. It's Burdett Jones, the freshman. And that is what you cannot do if you're trying to make an upset. You cannot turn the ball over. He felt the pressure on his backside and just yammed it and did not work. So here comes Wyoming yet again. Quick option. They do get it off to the wide receiver. He cuts inside, and that's going to be 11 for Ryan McGee.
Yeah, and you mentioned it earlier. That was actually one of my players to watch this game. Burdett Jones has had a phenomenal season. One of the few bright spots on this Wyoming defense that has been able to keep them as one of the best teams in the division. So remember, he's only a freshman. So that's really interesting to see that he has at least a few building blocks on that defense to sort of build around.
Yeah, and this is a Wyoming team that is really looking for respect too. You know, they're 5-1. Nobody thought that they were supposed to be here. You know, not allowed of media or coaches get up to the island. So you know, not a lot is known about what happens at Wyoming. So they're hoping to use this national stage to dominate UTEP and potentially get ranked next week, as that's going to be another 4th and short. So are they going to stay aggressive? Yes, they are. Here we go. I'm loving the aggressiveness. They are coming into UTEP and wanting to dominate. So 4th and 1 here. A delayed give to Potts. He gets it. He stiffies 2 minors this time. As he gets 7.
God, this video is gonna get flagged. All right.
It's all right. We don't have ad partners or anything, so we're chilling.
Not yet.
As this one's floated, that's so dangerous out wide, but it works out as he's wide open. That's Carlos Freeman, the top target, his first catch of the day. So 5 for 9 start. Breckenridge does have that touchdown on the ground. And Wyoming, they do deliver it. That's Brown, and he gets 12 and another first down.
Yeah, we mentioned it earlier, but Jamie Brown has been a really good young running back to sort of be the successor to Perry Potts, and he's looked really well in his sort of minimal role that he's been
As
given.
Perry Potts runs over 2 men, goes to the end zone, and no, he stopped just short. Another beautiful play from Potts. He takes the counter, runs over 2 guys, and almost gets there. Now, UTEP's been getting aggressive. They keep bringing that safety down, but when the safety can't tackle, you're going to be put in a world of hurt. So now 1st and goal here. Back out empty with Breckenridge. Got to watch him on the ground. And Breckenridge, he has some time. Delivers a strike into double coverage, and it's tipped away by Gutierrez.
Yeah. The thing is with UTEP, they just can't get the full defensive opportunities. They're getting the deflections, and they're getting what they want, but there's only 2 down linemen here. Oh.
As Breckenridge floats it back in the end zone. Touchdown, Wyoming! Ryan McGee skies up, climbs the ladder, and brings it in. We got a 14-0 game. You know, I don't think they're going to be watching that back in the film room and praising Breckenridge for that throw, but sometimes it just, anything you throw is caught. As that is a horrible kick, and they missed the extra point. Our first missed extra point of the season.
I wasn't gonna, say anything. That is just, woof.
All right, so ridiculousness unfolding here in the Mountain West. Missed extra points, just jump balls into 10 guys.
And the crazy thing about that, TC, Ryan McGee is a 62 overall redshirt sophomore, and he's making plays like he did with this. Like, he's been all over the field for the Wyoming offense. It's crazy to think that he's really been the main contributor here.
Hey, he continues to show up. Remember, folks, overall does not mean everything here in the SFA. As we get a broken tackle now from the running back. Another broken tackle. He turns that positive, but wait, there's a flag. In clipping, man, you know, these 0-6 teams, typically their biggest threat is themselves. You know, they turnovers, penalties, negative plays. It's just a melting pot of sadness here in El Paso this season. As hand it off again to the outside, he gets that room back, he gets it all back and more. Broken tackle, first down, UTEP. James McAfee for 29.
And you saw there, he broke 4 tackles. He broke a 5th one as he was leaving, going out of bounds, which is insane. He was still on his feet for quite a while. So very opportunistic run. Maybe that sort of ignites this UTEP offense. Because, I mean, at this point, wins are just sort of more of a team bonding thing. You're 0-6, bowl eligibility's been thrown out the window for a few weeks. You're just looking for something to get, the guys together.
As that's a nice throw over the middle to Justin Horn as he is lit up by the defense. But here comes UTEP. They're mounting a decent drive. I think you got to lean into the running game here. The outside zone was working a couple of times there, so we'll see if they can convert on this drive. Remember, folks, it's these conference games. Anything can happen. We've seen multiple years now in the Mountain West, especially in this division. This is the poor division. This is the division that's pretty bad. They are the Mountain, and we've seen teams that start out like 1-5 go on a run and finish 7-5 and win the division. It was Air Force a couple of years. New Mexico has done it before, so nobody's really out of it. But when you're running plays like that, that's not going to help you too much. As Jeff Williams tackles him.
Fun fact: that was actually UTEP last year too. I believe they were 2-4 going into the latter half of the season, and they came away 6-6 and got to the championship. Of course, they lost to a Hawaii team, a very talented Hawaii team, but just getting there was pretty impressive.
Fresno State.
Whoops.
A nice throw down the seam, and he's pushing for more down to the 10. It's Patrick McNeil for 35. UTEP is starting to cook here. Andrew Alexander, that's his second completion now.
Yeah, my bad for saying Hawaii. I still have PTSD from last year, so that's probably why I said that.
And speaking of, is the race for the West Division is going to be crazy this year. You've got UNLV undefeated. You've got Fresno State, obviously, with Chadley Brown. They are a wagon. You've got Hawaii, of all teams, as well, as we get a jump ball on the other side, and it's tipped away. I mean, you're obviously biased, but who is going to be your biggest competition in the division, do you think?
I mean, I'd be crazy to say anyone. I mean, Chadley Brown is someone who you have to watch every single time. It was very...
Floats it again. It's tipped away again. Very nice defense playing on this right side.
Yeah, I didn't want to disturb that iconic TC call, but I'd probably say San Diego State. I think that's going to be a big game for us. The game I'm circling, no matter what, is unfortunately not good there, so it's 4th down. But I think the game that I'm circling is Hawaii. It's the one team we couldn't beat in our division last year. It's just it's become personal for me. I love Wooly, but that's a game I need to win.
And there it is, the touchdown for UTEP, a masterful drive, and they come back. It's now 13-7, maybe. These extra points on gimmies.
I mean, we have 2 Chad Rylands on the field right now. I don't know if those are guarantees.
And that one goes through, so only a 6-point game now. So UTEP, Coach Moroku, they're hanging in there.
Yeah. The one thing I do love, TC, and, I don't want to, toot my own horn and be but I do think that what I'm trying to do, you've heard coaches, I think we've both heard through rumors and through the grapevine that more coaches are possibly going to the Mountain West. I'm just glad that the Mountain West is sort of getting that revitalization. Obviously, it's gotten a bad rap over the years for obvious reasons, but my ultimate goal is just to, make it relevant again.
All right.
Not good in any sense, because obviously, a G5, conference can do as much as they want, but it's more or less the respect factor, of someone like an AAC,
And that will do it here from the first quarter, 13-7 for Wyoming as they have the ball going into the second quarter. And coming off of a sack there, it was a corner blitz, so UTEP kind of has the momentum here. But yeah, I mean, Mountain West is far off from the AAC, but it only takes a few teams, like UNLV being good, Wyoming being good, Hawaii, you guys are starting to come up here. As Breckenridge, he has some time, and he throws that on the run, and it's tipped away by Jeff Woods. That was risky. So UTEP, watch out, folks. 3rd and 13 now, or 15. So we're out empty. Jamie Breckenridge continues to love this empty set as we only get 3 down linemen. And that's once again almost tipped and picked. So John Goldsberry, it's going to be a 3 and out here for Wyoming. So UTEP staying in it. They actually have the chance to take the lead here.
Very interesting from Wind. I feel like these spread offenses are not what Wyoming's usually built on. So the fact that they're still going back to it, Jamie Breckenridge is good, no doubt about it. But I feel like you're kind of asking him to do a little too much with the lackluster wide receiver core you have.
And I will say, this has felt like a very similar start to last week's game between Coastal Carolina and Troy. Coastal Carolina controlled the majority of the game, seemed like they're going to run away with it. But then Troy, they relied on the big play. They just kept staying into the game until very late where they took control. So UTEP, they're starting to cook. I mean, they're throwing the ball all over the yard right now. So Alexander dumping this one off, gets a block, and now we're inside the 20, already knocking on the door.
Yeah, and I think just those deflections sort of added up to the frustration of Jamie Breckenridge, but also just the UTEP defense getting that motivation to really help that offense out, get them going.
So now they're going to be motioning. I think Alexander, the backup, he just had to settle into the game here. He's feeling it. Starting to make some edits on the offensive side as he yams this to the end zone, 1-on-1, and it's tipped away. Jeff Williams. The 50-50 ball does not go UTEP's way, so 2nd and 10 from the 16. Split back formation. Gonna do some triple option now. Oh, that whole right side is free. He tips it. Oh, it's a touchdown, James McAfee. That pitch looked nefarious at best, but he picked it up and took it to the end zone.
Yeah, the one thing I love about that pitch was he baited the entire defense by faking inside like he was going to run it all the way in. Pitches it out daylight for that running back. Great job by UTEP.
As we get a extra point and UTEP takes the lead. All right, folks, we got a battle here in the Mountain West. Records don't matter when you're on the field. Wyoming now is in a dogfight. So how are they going to respond now? I mean, 14 straight points without a response. Then they come back out empty. Perry Potts up top, I believe. Or no, he may not even be on the field right now. Jamie Breckenridge over the middle. Wide open. Ryan McGee, the go-to guy.
Yeah, and you mentioned earlier, though, Wyoming has a possibility of being ranked. Where did you rank them, if you were to guess?
Well, I didn't rank them in my previous rankings, but they are, anytime you are in the hunt for the G5 auto bid, I gotta have you on my radar. So if they continue winning and we keep seeing some of these top teams losing throughout the country, they will be ranked here shortly. As Perry Potts now gets 5. Remember, there's this unique thing in the SFA where when you get exposure, people are going to rank you higher. Just take Florida State, for example. They won on a last-second play on game day, and they found themselves jumping up from unranked to 19 this week in the poll. So it's all about exposure if you want to move up. So 3rd and 5 now here for Wyoming, as once again they love this empty. They got the bunch on the bottom. Makes an edit here from Jamie, and they bring a blitz. He delivers a strike, and there's McGee again as he falls forward for 17. Ryan McGee is causing headaches so far in this first half for UTEP.
It's not only the fact that he's getting open with doing those receptions, but it's the fact that they're using him on jet sweeps too. Sort of that all-purpose, guy. Sort of like Dallas Johnson last year we saw with Nebraska. It was very interesting to see how they're utilizing him.
Love the Dallas Johnson shout as Jamie Breckenridge is getting 6. Cryo does his homework. I didn't know Brad was injured either. You're cooking today.
Yeah, come on, it's the Mountain West. I'm keeping track of this.
There you
Also,
go.
Marshall guy hit like a hurricane and the injury report, so that
Yeah,
was
that
interesting.
was rough. As there's an overthrow from Breckenridge, who's sporting only a 50% completion percentage here early on. UTEP kind of locking him down right now as finally Perry Potts back on the field. I don't know why you keep taking him off. He's the best player. And we get some quick option. Gets it out to him in space, but he can't break the tackle. It's going to be 4th down. So more decisions here. They're going to go for it again. They're 2 for 2 so far as they come out empty yet again. No Perry Potts in sight. And a quick throw out wide over the head of Jamie Brown. He never saw it. That could have been going to the end zone. The blocking was superb. It's just Jamie Brown never saw the play.
And I mean, if you're averaging 6.7 yards per carry, why do you not give it to Potts there? I mean, I know it's a little larger of a 4th down situation, but UTEP's been controlling this game even when they were down on the scoreboard. So Wyoming needs a 3-and-out like right now if they want any chance of getting that momentum back.
And this is what happens when you watch, some of these lower teams in the SFA play. A lot of miscues from both sides. You won't see that kind of a misplay in the ACC.
Oh yeah, definitely not. All the top running backs get their plays. They get a lot of carries. I'm very confident in that.
Oh yeah, yeah. Unless you're at ECU, then all of that goes out the wind. They still operate apparently like an American team. So
I love Travis C. Trace, man. He's my favorite quarterback.
Hey, he played well. So a 3-and-out now for UTEP. We'll see if they get aggressive. And they don't, unless they're baiting us with a fake punt here.
We saw that a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that did not work over at Western Kentucky. Is no, they will just punt this, and they have the lead. They're just happy to be here as Wyoming takes back over after the turnover on downs. Jamie Brown trying to break some tackles. He's done pretty well. It's just you'd liked him to have a bit more awareness to see that ball coming right at his forehead. So 1st and 10 now for the Wyoming Cowboys. You'd like to see them settle in, maybe get Perry Potts some more carries, as Jamie Breckenridge has not been able to just throw it wherever he wants to. And Jamie, he keeps it here. It just never seems like he was going to keep that one. He always was looking for the pitch. Thankfully, he just kept it.
Yeah, he's not like Boss Hennessy, so, I wasn't too worried about that.
So they're going back to this empty set, man. 1st and 10 now for Wyoming. And, Jamie gets speared. He did not slide there. That's what happens when you're mobile.
Yeah, and we were talking earlier about, Western Kentucky and the fake punt and just overall the G5 auto bet. How about Tulane?
I love Tulane.
Tulane has been a wagon, to say the least. It has been very interesting to see how that... It's not even the offense. It's what I've been more impressed with.
Intercepted! You talk about Tulane, and all of a sudden interceptions are get thrown, as Jamie Breckenridge is now 9 of 20.
Yeah, and I mean, this goes back to the going with the spread formation instead of going what's been working with them the entire season. So, very unfortunate.
So UTEP takes over at midfield with the lead, back to the pistol. Is Alexander, he's going to go on the run now, and he goes down. Sacked for 4. There's Ken Harrell again.
It's crazy, though, TC. We're already in week 9, and I want you to guess the average of points allowed by Tulane per week.
It's very small.
It's 10.3.
Ooh-wee, that defense is on point. And it's going to be interesting to see, how the committee would rank a undefeated UNLV versus an undefeated Tulane. Oh my, a deep shot right down the seam. Ernest Parrish on your dome. A beautiful throw. How is this guy the backup? Andrew Alexander has been cooking. Just an absolute piss missile.
Yeah, and I mean, that was just blown coverage. Number 20 tried to keep up with him, but I guess just couldn't keep up. There's nothing to say. That was just a beautiful play. perfect opportunity. If UTEP could take a demanding lead here.
Yeah, it's been all UTEP here in the second quarter as they do a delay give this time to McAfee. He only gets about 2. But UTEP has a chance here to go up 8 as they head to the locker room. So 2nd and 8 now. And remember, folks, UTEP does get the ball after halftime. So chance to like double, triple these guys up. Remember, they're on a 14-0 run right now. Hand off again. No, Alexander's going to keep it. He finds some room up the middle, falls forward to the 1, and gets about 8. Andrew Alexander, learn the name. They're actually going to mark him down back at the 2. So split back set. See what the call is here. They're going to run triple option again. He flips it out again. McAfee breaks a tackle. Touchdown, UTEP. They take a lead up to potentially 8.
And just like a certain team in the ACC, man, the triple option's been working beautiful for them. Wyoming just can't figure out. I don't know if it's awareness or just overall lack of talent, but it's just been all one-sided for UTEP.
As that extra point is good, so now the lead is 8. So that missed extra point coming back to haunt the Wyoming Cowboys, and really just uninspiring offense. Outside of Ryan McGee, they've really unable to do much of anything on the offensive side here in the second quarter. So massive upset potentially brewing here. Coach Wind, feeling some of that pressure from previous seasons. So they got trips left here. Perry Potts checks back in. As now they're going to audible back to the empty set. I can't believe it.
It's tough to watch, let me tell you.
So they're actually going to throw this to Perry Potts now. So they took Jamie Brown out of that role after that 4th down fiasco earlier on. So they get it to Potts and get about 8. So coming back out empty, they're just living in shotgun today. 2nd and 2, they bring a blitz, but he dumps it off, and it's dropped! It's not been a great day for the Wyoming offense, but you got to help them out at least a little bit. So a 3rd and 2 now here for Wyoming. Things are just going worst case scenario right now, but they find a way to get it to McGee, and he gets another 1st down. The only bright spot thus far.
Yeah, 4 receptions, they've all been sort of mid-level passes, but he's a good route technician in the fact that he's been able to find that open middle of the field where the linebackers have just not been able to cover.
So, quick option. He does get this out to Potts and a lot of green grass. Perry Potts down the sideline, and he gets 36. Breckenridge finally found a clean lane to throw it out to him. And Wyoming is right back in scoring range.
In the wise words of TC, pot ball on your dome. That was just a wide open lane. Very impressive for Wyoming. That may be the spark they need to get back into the end zone.
Yeah, and just like what's happening over at East Carolina, you just got to get your best players the ball. That's how you win these games. These offensive coordinators are all getting way too cute, trying to audible, trying to do all sorts of baloney. Just run the damn ball. As we're inside the 20 now here for Wyoming, and it's 1st and 10. Breckenridge, he has the time, and he's running out on the run. It's picked again! Unbelievable! He never saw the linebacker in the spy. It's Jeremy Williams.
It's just, you just get visibly frustrated if you're a Wyoming fan because you have Perry Potts. You know he's the best player in your team. You know the rushing been absolutely dominant against the suspect UTEP defensive line, and they're just not doing it.
And I actually went into the surrenderer Cobra right there. That was so sad to watch. As now here comes UTEP, who has been absolutely reeling here in the second quarter. As Andrew Alexander, man, he's a backup quarterback on an 0-6 team. Nothing is expected of him, but he is absolutely cooking as he evades the pressure and gets the 1st down by dumping it off to James McAfee.
Yeah, and they want a touchdown here. They're going hurry up.
And UTEP maybe putting on the Texas Western jerseys has sparked them. It's a sack and a fumble. We spoke too soon. They did recover it. But the blindside sack, man, almost completely changed this game. So 2nd and 16 now. This game's starting to heat up. Alexander dumps this one off again to McAfee. Missed tackle, but a recover. So 3rd and 13. They are in fringe yam range. We've seen a few yams so far, but we'll see if UTEP is happy just taking this to halftime. As, yeah, they're just going to do a delay give to McAfee here, and that's going to be a timeout for Wyoming. So they're going to get the ball back. 1 timeout, about 20 seconds left. And I, you know, after a missed extra point, I don't really like their chances at a field goal even, so we will see.
Yeah, that kicker's looking like prime Austin Anderson.
Oh, it's off the helmet, and it's almost recovered by UTEP. Jamie Brown does it again. The lack of awareness hits him in the helmet this time. Luckily, he recovers. That could have been catastrophic.
I want to apologize to Wynn personally. I think I gave him the commentator's curse. I was praising Jamie Brown before this dud of a performance that we're seeing right now.
Coach Wynn has to be beside himself after what's been happening here outside of Ryan McGee as he gets another 8-yard gain. But, I mean, Wyoming, it's only an 8-point game, but, man, 2 turnovers, a turnover on downs, and now you get that kind of a play. Man, I'm surprised they're still going for it here. Is dumping off again to Ryan McGee. Clock does stop. They're holding that timeout in their back pocket. Maybe 2 or 3 plays to get into field goal range. Breckenridge back up to 50% here. As we're throwing that out wide, it's intercepted a 3rd time! Just throwing it late to the boundary is never going to work. And I think we've broken Cryo. He is speechless.
I don't. What do you say? This isn't Detroit, man. This is the UTEP Miners. Like what? Oh my God, this has been a horrendous first half by Wyoming.
As we head to the half, it's 21-13 here for the UTEP Miners, the home team putting on a show for the home crowd that actually decided to show up. And in Cryo, how are you feeling about home field?
I mean, at least they show up compared to Wyoming, but I mean, very good. I'm actually wearing, Boston College.
Ooh.
Of course. It's been in my shirt rotation, so it's been really good. Obviously using
Very
code
good.
SFA for 15% off. Your first purchase has been really good. And I think Jamie Brown needs it because he's going to turn into a salesman by the end of this game.
Yeah, I put on I don't know if you saw, I got a Tulane shirt from home field the other day, so I need to sport it one of these game days if Tulane keeps on winning. I love Tulane.
And yeah, I mean, let's talk about actual good teams for a second. All honesty, I know I'm in the G5 bit. I'm obviously going to say UNLV better. We already know the spiel, but I'm really been impressed with not their offense per se, but their defense. It is a suffocating defense. It really is one of the best defenses I've seen in the SFA.
Yeah, and we saw it live a couple of weeks ago too, and that's always the thing. Sometimes you have a great sim defense, but how do they play when the lights are bright on game day? And they performed well, as that was Western Kentucky they beat, right? Yeah, it was that they had the fake punt touchdown. So the only defensive TD we've seen on stream all year long.
Yeah, and I will say, TC, this is actually the first or second week Jamie Brown did come back from injury. So you wonder if he's playing through an injury. That's why he isn't able to, be 100%. But even then, that's inexcusable for the type of, duds he's been having this game.
As we get a handoff here to James McAfee, it's going to be a first down to open up the half. And that just reminded me. I know you asked about Ubaldo Kingsbury. He has a questionable tag right now. So I have no clue if he's going to play or not.
I'll just give him the 100,000. He's been begging for it.
As we get a run here from Andrews, and doesn't do much. It's going to be really up to this Wyoming defense to limit the possessions for UTEP. Their offense isn't helping them today, so you've got to hold UTEP and get a couple of stops. until at least, Jamie Breckenridge gets out of this slump he's in. As he pitches that late, it's not going to be a first down, but it's going to be a third and manageable here for McAfee.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Ebola Kingsbury didn't play last game. We're going to keep talking about UNLV if we're in the Mountain West. But, James Ashley, getting 2 sacks. It's one of those defenses that they're not going to wow you, but, it's a next man up type situation. That's what I love about this defense. It's not, statistically, it's not the best in the world, but, we're have 100 more points for than against currently. So I'm very happy with my defense.
As UTEP did get the first down just barely, so they are hurrying back up to the line, and they got 2 wide receivers down low, 2 up top, shotgun. They're playing fast and loose, 3-man rush, yamming it deep, and he gets past the safety, dives on 31. Justin Horn this time. And sometimes that's what happens when you're an 0-6 team, man. You're playing fast and loose. You're just, you go out there and play backyard football, and sometimes everything just seems to click.
Yeah, and remember, TC, he is a freshman, and he's been a stud for this UTEP offense.
And quick option again, and Alexander keeps it. He does not pitch this one. So Wyoming, man, the defense has been struggling. The offense has been just horrible since that first quarter. So, chance to take a 2-score lead now for UTEP. They're inside the 20. Split back set can be more of the same, the triple option. And McAfee breaks one, and he goes down. That's Pud Foxtail, the SFA player, finally getting involved, making a TFL there, saving a first down, as he has been a non-factor in the middle. So 3rd and 8 now. Alexander in shotgun. They bring a corner blitz. It's not picked up. He breaks the sack but goes down. Ken Harrell continues to show up. That's his 4th TFL and his 2nd sack of the day.
Finally, this Wyoming defense is stepping up.
And they're going for it as they're way too far for a field goal now, so the sack definitely impacting that. So can Wyoming get off the field here? They're yamming it deep. 1-on-1, tipped away. Wyoming takes over. They tried to go back to the 50-50 ball, looking for Horn, who he connected with earlier on the drive, but it looks like he just threw it a little bit too late. The positioning was there for Wyoming, and it's a turnover on downs.
And that's that young matchup that I was telling you about. Burdett Jones and Justin Horn, both stud freshmen. So that's going to be a very interesting matchup to see for the rest of the game.
So safety blitz coming in. They do pick it up. And there's a strike to Rocky Mosley, his first catch of the day. As Jamie Breckenridge comes right back out and keeps throwing the ball. You got to have a short memory when you've already thrown 3 picks as they come back out empty. Doesn't look like the game plan is changing at all out of halftime as McGee goes to the backfield. That's what you were saying. He gets the toss. What a cut from McGee! And had he not tripped over Mosley, that could have been a touchdown.
I'm telling you, man. I've seen a lot of Dallas Johnson in him. I know I've brought him up before, but he's that all-purpose wide receiver that they just love to use as that gadget player.
And UTEP continues to bring the blitzes, continue to get aggressive, trying to hurry up the clock of Jamie Breckenridge. It doesn't work there. He's got to Rocky Mosley. So I guess Wynn was saying in halftime he needs to get the ball more to his checkdowns, his tight ends.
Yeah, and I think the good thing with UTEP is if you have a bad defense like that, those blitzes are going to be your best bet in disturbing the quarterback, and it's worked. So maybe they keep doing it.
And more quick option. They make Breckenridge. Oh, that looked gnarly. He got speared and rolled up on the same time, but he looks like he's going to be okay. Oof. That is not good for the lower back. So a 2nd and 11, he is in there.
Looks like the tribal chief speared him.
As we get a dump off here, and that's back to Derek Payne. 3rd and 5 now. Back to the empty set. Definitely 4-down territory if you're a Wyoming fan. As it could be oh, it's almost picked again! Jeff Woods saw the mid-screen coming a mile away. And they're going for it. So 2 of 3 on the day. Can they come up huge here? Bunch formation, top of the screen. Perry Potts in the backfield. They're floating it deep, and it's dropped! Unbelievable, he was wide open, and he just couldn't bring it in. Oh, you gotta be sick if you're a Wyoming fan.
It's heartbreaking, really. I mean, you should have expected this with the Wyoming receivers. They've been playing out of their minds compared to expectations with their overalls, but where's Potts? That's the biggest question. I think Wynn needs to at least, shake up this game book like a little bit, I feel like whatever he's running is just not getting Potts the ball. That's what's making them win these games.
Yeah, it seems like Potts and McGee are the X factor for this offense, and neither of them getting the call there on 4th down definitely has you puzzled, as it's 2nd and 4 now for UTEP. Take it back over. So to start 3rd quarter, a pair of turnover on downs, as this is a nice tackle. There's Pud Foxtail again. If he can start, heating up in the run game. It's a 3rd and 1. Big opportunity for Wyoming, but they're going to have to probably generate a negative play. Alexander's going to be triple option again. He pitches it out. Can they stop him? They do. What an open field tackle on Anthony Simmons. Jeff Williams, the corner. And ladies and gentlemen, that is a corner on a fullback. We do not see that turn out with a fullback being tackled. I think last time we saw that collision, it was Cheddar Biscuits laying the wood on game day. So Wyoming takes back over. It's a 3 and out after the turnover on downs. Jamie Brown does field this one cleanly, but this game has been anything but clean for both of these teams. Had plenty of turnovers, tons of drops, just boneheaded plays. Surprised we haven't seen any fumbles in the pitch game. But Jamie Breckenridge, he's going to continue to trot on back out there. They're only down 8.
And I think the thing you're seeing with UTEP is they're being very opportunistic on defense, and then they're carrying that momentum to the offense. And I think that's why they have this, 8-point lead.
As Perry Potts there gets 6.
Yeah, I mean, he's been averaging 10 per rush.
But he only has 8 carries. I guess I fired my ECU OC and he went straight to Wyoming. As they're going to throw this. Oh my, that's Perry Potts throwing the ball, and it's a fumble. They give Carlos Frieden the recovery.
I'm sorry, what is going on?
That was some wildcat throw. They called it a fumble, and we don't often see when the ball hits like a helmet, we don't often see them actually call it a fumble. So that was interesting. As it's 3rd and 3 now. Over the middle. There's a strike, and they made the catch this time. That's Derek Payne, who had the drop on the last drive. I will commend him for going right back to him.
Yeah.
Getting his confidence back.
You brought up the helmet thing, was just really interesting, because we know game day, that last, catch was caught, but then knocked out by a same team player.
Unreal. The helmet drop heard around the world.
It was quite heartbreaking when you saw the replay.
As you yam that one down the seam, and here comes Wyoming going back to Rocky Mosley. That's his 3rd catch of the quarter.
Fuck.
Wynn clearly not pleased.
Wynn coming
in.
in.
I thought the game was over the way you guys were talking. It wasn't loading. I was like, they must have lost.
No. This has been quite the game, as we got about 10 minutes left. As Jamie Breckenridge, they're finally back in the red zone, giving Perry Potts another carry. That's only his 9th carry of the day. Or 10th, sorry.
Yeah, Jamie Breckenridge doing his best Tavarius Trace impression with these 3 interceptions, and it's pretty insane.
As now we got Wyoming. Delayed give to Potts. He finds some room. They're going to actually mark him as a 1st down. I thought he was a yard or 2 short. But 1st and goal now here at the 7.
When you give Potts the ball, he's cooking.
So watch out for McGee there. Look at him in the slot, man. Nobody even covering him, but they hand it off to Potts, who stiffies a man, pushes forward, and gets to the 1. Wyoming desperately trying to get back into the end zone. Down 8. Remember, they missed an extra point earlier on in the game as we got both goal line formations here. Breckenridge under center. Toss out to Perry Potts. Can he get there? He breaks one. Touchdown, Wyoming. They are back in it.
It took him 3 quarters, but Perry Potts is finally getting the ball.
As he extends his school record for career rushing touchdowns. Congratulations, Potts. And they're going to go elect for the extra point. They missed one already today. And this one is good. So still down 1 point here. That missed extra point proving to be the difference. As we're just over 9.5 minutes left in this game. UTEP's going to get the ball back. We are going to get a return now. This is Horn. And he only gets back to the 20. So the Cowboys have been a lot better in the second half here on defense. We'll see if they can keep it rolling. As they've really been fallen victim to the big play today.
Yeah, a lot of big plays, especially on those corner routes. I mean, we've talked about this before with other teams that happen in Patreon Game of the Weeks or just game days in general. That out route is something that you will see a lot that usual defend, like only really, really good SFA players are going to be able to defend.
As this is potentially going to be our last play of the third quarter as we get 2nd and 7 now for UTEP. They're going to audible here. They're in the pistol. We get a blitz. They pick it up, and it's almost intercepted. Burdett Jones had it. He almost had his second one of the game. So a 3rd and 7 now, a chance for Wyoming to force another 3 and out. They're making another change here, tight end in motion. Alexander just throws it out to McAfee. He has to make a couple of moves, and he doesn't. So as we head to the 4th quarter, Wyoming is going to get the ball back down 1 point.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm telling you, man, Burdett Jones, stud, very underrated, one of the better cornerbacks in the Mountain West. You know, and I know his overall doesn't say it, but I mean, for a freshman, the plays he can make is really, really impressive. I expect another big play to come out of him. I don't know what it's going to be, but definitely expect it.
But in this situation, as we get another botch punt for Jamie Brown, but in that situation, man, Jones, you've got to pick that off and take it back for 6. Like, you know, he's a freshman. You know, he dropped it. There's a reason he plays corner, but I just felt like that was a missed opportunity as we get Wyoming back. They finally got back in the end zone for the first time since the first quarter. We get a dump-off pass. I believe that's Rocky Mosley again. So the third quarter really has, or the second half, he's been heavily involved.
Yeah, and I mean, you brought up the Burdett Jones thing. I mean, anything that's not an interception is a positive reception compared to the first half, so.
That's true. 2nd and inches now. Only a quick 3-step drop. They deliver a strike. Carlos Freeman brings it in. Fresh set of downs. So Wyoming now, they feel like they've gotten back into a rhythm as they hand it off to Potts here. He doesn't get much as he goes down.
Very interesting way they decided to, you know, take on this game. They decided to go pass first and then run second, which is very weird. I mean, clearly they're running the ball now. As I say that, they go empty, but you know, they've been trying to get Potts involved more in the second half.
As he floats this way out of bounds, another risky throw, and it's going to be 3rd and long. So 3rd and 9, on your own 45. They've proved today that they are not afraid to go for it. So they probably need to get about half of this here as they bring another blitz, picked up, dumps it short. That's Jamie Brown, and he's going to be about 4 yards short. So more decisions coming here for Coach Wind. And they will go for it. So 4th and 4. They've gone for it, I think, 4 times now. So their first 2 were good. Their second 2 have not. 4th and 4. Here we go. 4-man clean pocket. And he finds his man. It's caught this time for 11. Nicely done.
Yeah, obviously they got it there. But, I mean, I've been really impressed with Mark Mead, number 92. You see that bottom of the 3 down linemen. He hasn't been getting many things that are going to stuff the stat sheet, but he's been creating a lot of pressure to force Jamin Breckenridge to sort of make those throws like out of bounds.
Yeah, as he hurried him up right there, forcing a throw just a little bit high for his guy. So 2nd and 10 now inside the 40. Definitely not in field goal range. As we're going to get a quick throw out wide, and that was dangerous as Ryan McGee never saw the corner coming. So another 3rd down incoming here for the Cowboys. 3rd and 10 here, about a little under 7 minutes left in the game. Breckenridge, he has time, dumps it off short. That's McGee. And he's going to be about 5 short, so. Or Jamie Brown, I guess. So now at the 35 here. It's a long 5 yards for sure. Wyoming floating it. That's dangerous, but it's dropped again. Another turnover on downs. It's Jamie Brown.
It's bullshit.
He had it right in the breadbasket, and he just couldn't reel it in.
And I mean, Mountain West, promoting the Mountain West Tribune, I thought there was a QB controversy over in Wyoming. Maybe it's a running back controversy. Maybe Perry Potts and Coach Wind are not on the same page. Maybe some fighting's happening in the locker room that we do not know about.
All right, so now we're getting to that moment, man. UTEP, they get another score. They could potentially put this one away. They get into that 4-minute offense, run the clock. So Wyoming's got to come up with another stop here. Oh, and that's almost intercepted by Ryan Bates.
I mean, we've said that so many times now. There's at least 10 deflections that could be interceptions. This has been a sloppy game all around. If Wyoming can just get their act together, they can easily, have it go the other way.
We get a counter play here. Chance to get off the field, and they do. The defense once again coming through. That's Jake Falk, the strong safety. So punt unit coming on out now. UTEP continues to stall on the offensive side here in the second half. They have no points so far in the second half today. So Wyoming once again will get their shot as we see them running out the clock.
It's still crazy to me, TC. A 67 overall running back, 18 overall points lower than Perry Potts, has more rushing yards in this game. Yeah, very interesting.
It's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. They're angling this one to the corner. A clean handle there from Jamie Brown, who's been less than ideal handling the balls today. As now we're under 5 minutes. These drives are getting few and far between here. Not a lot of opportunities left. Can Wyoming stay perfect in the Mountain West? As that counter goes nowhere for Potts. But he stays on his feet. He's still going. And they bring him down for 4.
Yeah, that was very similar to last year. It's not kind of the same situation. Not let me talk. But like how Nebraska had that quarterback, lunge for the first down. And Perry Potts is fighting to try and just make this offense go, and it's just not working out.
Okay, I'm glad you referenced Nebraska and not Josh Johnson getting tackled on the 5 by ECU and then getting up and scoring a touchdown.
Oh, I mean,
I'd much rather you reference the Nebraska one. So thank you for that. As we're yamming it deep from Breckenridge, open man, first down. Carlos Freeman, he had to dive. If he would have stayed on his feet, that's a tutty. But they will take it.
That was wide open. Very, very opportunistic, but Jamie Breckenridge has been very underwhelming. I just don't know what's up with him today.
Well, we're inside 4 minutes now. They are knocking on the door here as they're going to delay give to Potts. And he finds some room, explodes up the middle. That's a first down. Maybe they're just keeping Potts fresh for the end of the game as he's gotten about, double the carries here in the last, 5 minutes than he did in the first, 25. So got a 1st and 10 now. Quick option. That's going nowhere. Breckenridge couldn't get the pitch off. Courtney Rivero in on the tackle as UTEP. They're feeling themselves in these Texas Western throwbacks. Trying to get their first win of the season. Can they hold on? Only about 3.5 minutes left.
Yeah, I'm loving these, jail inspired unis from UTEP.
As you get plenty of time over the middle, it's intercepted off the tip! If this stands, it will kill Wyoming's season. What wherewithal to bring it in? Breckenridge can't believe it, and it stands!
I mean, that's just been the story of the game. UTEP has just disrupted Wyoming all night, and I think you just had to kiss their ranked hopes goodbye.
I mean,
That is heartbreaking. That is just truly heartbreaking.
you're knocking on the doorstep and you get a tip interception. Oh, you can't believe it. Why, UTEP, it's something special has been happening today here in El Paso. Can they finish it off? They're trying to run out the clock. A couple of first downs will do it for him. Andrews, he's trying to cut a field, and they stop him there. As the first timeout comes from Wyoming. 3rd and 2. They've gotten a few stops here in the second half. They've done everything that they can. Do they have one more stop in them? They're going to just hand it off. Oh, it's Andrews to the corner. Can he get there? Oh, what a block. He turns the corner. And that just may do it here for UTEP. Coach Muroku, he's loving it. As one timeout left for Wyoming, one more first down will seal this game for the Miners. A handoff to McAfee up the middle, a broken tackle, and he's brought down. And the Wyoming fans who traveled here from the island, they are sick to their stomachs as they have witnessed 4 turnovers, plenty of missed opportunities, plenty of drops as Jane McAfee, he goes to the corner, he's pushing, and he goes out of bounds. So a free timeout there for Wyoming. This game is not over, folks, as it's 3rd and 3. Game on the line for Wyoming. Handoff to McAfee up the gut. That's going to be a first down, and UTEP is going to hang on to really cement the biggest upset in the Mountain West this season.
That's just heartbreaking. That really is. Me being a personal, friend of Wind. Oh, you just hate to see it. But for UTEP, how is this for morale? 0-6, obviously, you mentioned that they're going to get a transfer portal QB. One of the few teams that were able to do it. And, I mean, at least this is a morale booster for the rest of the season. You see bright spots. And so one thing I love about UTEP is that defense, very opportunistic, not good ratings-wise. But whenever, the offense screws up, they're there to stop it.
And as we hit triple zeros here in Week 9 Watch Party, UTEP has done the impossible. They defeat the 5-1 Wyoming Cowboys 21-20, the difference being a missed extra point. The turnovers were won by UTEP. They were just playing inspired all day long, and we now have back-to-back weeks here in the SFA Watch Party, decided by 1 point in the group of 5. 2 upsets. You had the Coastal Carolina lose last week. Now Wyoming goes down this week. Yeah, I mean, crazy game, Cryo. And you know what? This is another matchup where I was surprised it won by the voters, and it proved to be a fantastic game.
It's crazy. The missed PAT was the deciding factor.
Yeah, exactly. And only 7 points in the entire second half. UTEP didn't score a point in the second half, and they still somehow found a way to win the game. So as always, folks, we're going to check out the stats, check out the scoring summary. The VOD will be available a little later on tonight. And as always, guys, don't spoil the ending for others who want to watch the VOD. Not everybody can watch live, so be respectful and obviously never leak results outside of the Patreon channels, as this does go live to the public after game day. So for UTEP, the story of the defense was 100% just interceptions. Jeff Woods had 2, Brian Taylor had 1, and Jeff Woods was the guy who got it off of the deflection, and then they also added like 6 deflections. It was just a very, very bad game here for Wyoming. And Jamie Breckenridge, 56%, 1-in-4 split. not a good day for him. Potts only getting the ball 16 times, just over 100 yards. He did get into the end zone, though. And Ryan McGee was really the only bright spot. We had at least 3 drops here from these folks on the outside. And on defense, Ryan Bates was all over the place. They did get quite a few TFLs. The second half was actually very, very good from this defense, but they did give up a few deep ones there at the beginning, or in the first half. Scott Douglas, they gave him that fumble off the helmet, but that was, I don't really think that counted. So, all right, so that will do it here, folks. I'm not going to show players of the game. That will be available when I post the game result, because I don't want to expose any matchups or anything. But, yeah, thanks for watching.